Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Reilly. Today we're going to be looking at the SEAT EXS 100% electric kick scooter, otherwise known as the Segway Ninebot ES2. So let's get started. So before we get started, we're going to talk about making sure that you wear a helmet at all times when you're riding these electric kick scooters. They go fast and you want to protect the most sensitive part of your body, your brain, inside your skull. Your skull can only do so much, so this helmet and helmets of its type will definitely help with it. So make sure that you're wearing it at all times when you're riding it, and you'll see me wearing one later on. So what we're going to talk about is the SEAT branded Segway Ninebot ES2, but SEAT call it their EXS. Beautiful kick scooter, retailing about €600. You can get them from SEAT dealerships around Ireland, and let's run through some of the features that are on it. So the batteries of the actual scooter are held within inside the upright part of it. You have got rubberized handles, you have a stop throttle switch, I'd probably call it a switch, which is electronic, and you also have your forward momentum or your go switch or throttle. You have a LCD display, and that will connect via Bluetooth to let you know whether you're connected to your phone. It has battery, it has your speed, and it also has your mode. There are 3 modes: Sport, Sports Plus, and Normal. And I'll run through exactly what that are later on. You also have the old-fashioned foot brake at the back as well, if you find that the electronic brake isn't powerful enough. It's just over about 1 meter long, 1.1 meters high, and the width is about 40 centimeters. And then when you bring it down, which is a fairly simple operation, you just take the pressure off the front of it and lift it up, and then it'll fall into itself. And then the actual width is about 43 centimeters. Obviously the length stays the same at 1.1, so it's about 43 by 40 by about 1.1 meters. Weight, it's about 12.5 kilos. So it's not light by any means, but it is manageable when you're getting in and out of the dirt or lifting out of your boot or whatever it may be. And to put it upright again, you just hold down the foot brake, hold it up, and there is a nice little kickstand on it as well. The floor is rubberized. It has 8-inch solid rubber wheels, so you won't ever get a flat. It has suspension front and rear, so the ride sometimes can be a bit firm because of those solid tyres, but you're not going to have to worry about them going flat. Then you have LED illuminating lights underneath, LED light at the front, LED lights at the rear as well, with some reflectors around the place. The little handy hook for your helmet or for a bag is also the hook that folds down and connects to the rear brake. Charging is done as well via the socket on the upright directly into the battery. You can get an additional battery that you can click onto it. Range about 25 kilometers. I've been getting around 17-18, so like electric cars, electric kick scooters like to, exaggerate's the wrong word, but best conditions range. And then the last bit then is the top speed is on 25 kilometers. Depending on the modes will depend on how top speeds you can get. I've really enjoyed my time with it. It's great to see SEAT trying to get into this electric mobility space. They understand that people aren't driving directly from their house to their job anymore. They might be at a park and ride, or they might be going to public transport, and this will be your last mile, or if you've got a short enough commute, this will be your full commuter vehicle. You will be able to this is their first foray into electric, and it's by branding and working with Segway. The next thing coming from SEAT is something that I'm really interested in, which is the Cupra, which is their sports division of their SEAT cars, and the L-Born fully electric vehicle. That's based on the MEB platform for Volkswagen Group. So lots of stuff coming down the line, but the guys at SEAT Ireland are really interested in getting this out there and letting people know about it. The fact that they're partnered with Segway is a market leader. Segway wouldn't be the most inexpensive model in the market, but they have been around a long time, and a lot of the ride share micro-mobility sharing apps globally will use Ninebot, so they're tried and tested. You can't argue with the quality of it. It is a bit more expensive, as mentioned, it's about €600, but the build, the ride quality, you can't fault it. It is something The elephant in the room with electric kick scooters at the moment within the Irish market is they are not legalised. It's not that they're illegal, it's their class as a motor vehicle, and such you have to have tax, insurance and a licence, but there is no such thing as tax, insurance or licence for an electric kick scooter, so they're falling into that grey area. So you will see a lot of them around urban areas, etc. I'll be taking this for test drives in a private development, so I won't be going on public roads, but you see them out and about, you see them everywhere. So just remember that until legislation changes, and this is of September 2020, they are not legal. Are they illegal? It's such that they're not legal. So hopefully the new Minister for Transport will get this sorted out, because they're an essential part of that micro mobility and that last mile vehicle in a lot of urban environments. And if using something like this to get us from A to B, and the involvement of cycle paths and zero emission zones, something like this will make a huge difference. The motor on this is 300 watts and it can go up to max of 700 output. So overall it's a nice tidy package, and it is really something that you can stick in the boot or bring with you if you're commuting and you're getting Lewis or Dart, or if you are using public transport, and then that last bit from the bus stop or the train stop or the Dart stop or the Lewis stop all the way to your work. Handy. Some of the downsides of it, I've found it difficult when I am going shopping to figure out what I do with it. Leaving it outside, should I have a chain or a cable that ties it to the bike rack? I'd be kind of worried about leaving it outside supermarkets and stuff like that, because it is mobile. The app, you can lock it, which locks the wheels, and an alarm goes off and you can track it and all that kind of stuff. So the app is good. It's the Segway Ninebot app that you're using on the Android. The difference between the apps between Android and iOS is the iOS have more ambient light features, so the lights that are underneath it, you can do more with them. So that was my first downside. The second thing was, in the rain, it's kind of like when you're cycling. If you wear the right gear, you should be okay. You need waterproof shoes, leggings, jackets, the whole lot, because as much as there's a mudguard on the back of it, when it's zooming along and the water spraying up, your back is going to be covered in rainwater coming off the road or the street or whatever you're riding on, I suppose. So yeah, it's my first time. This is the smallest electric vehicle we reviewed on the channel so far. Looking to review more of them. Looking forward to getting legislation in Ireland. If you're enjoying the review so far, make sure you give us a subscribe and like. Love to hear your comments. We are going to do 3 different camera angles today when testing the SEAT EXS. And this is using the GoPro Hero 8 and the medium mod, so hopefully the wind turbulence won't be too bad because we're using the lavalier mic. This is helmet cam, so it is an arm extended from the helmet and another boom arm on the side of it. So you can see my reactions and what I'm looking at. What I'd like to know in the comments is which camera angle you prefer. So this is helmet cam. Hopefully not too close. I'm not sure how it's going to come out until post-production. And we're going to do harness cam, and we're going to do handlebar cam, so all the H's. So this is handlebar, this is helmet cam. The incline that rated on the specifications for the SEAT EXS is it has a max incline of 10 degrees, which some of the Dublin hills and some of the hills that are out and about there are more than 10 degrees, so you'd want to be conscious of that. That's number one. So, and you can definitely feel it when you do go up a steep hill, it starts to struggle. So if you're living in a hilly area, I'm not sure how many Segways Ninebots that they sell in San Francisco, but definitely it is made for flat ground. The maximum ridge it can go over, it says in the specification, is 1 centimetre, and the maximum gap is 3 centimetre. The motor itself is an in-hub motor, and it's actually in the front wheel of the scooter itself. So let's change camera angle and let's go with... So the footboard is big enough. I've got size 11 feet. As mentioned, I'm 90 kgs and very easy going. People in the estate are going to be wondering why this guy is driving around 3 times on his electric scooter, but they don't realise the scientific research that we're doing with regards to whether it's going to be a clear winner for helmet cam, harness cam, or handlebar cam. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments there. If you're enjoying this review, make sure you click like and subscribe, and let us know what type of scooters and what type of other micro electric mobility or electric micro mobility that you'd like us to review on the channel. Build quality is good. I'll have a detailed look at the moment. I'll stick in some B-roll with regards to the close-up of all the quality, but the handlebars are good. The footplate is a non-slip material. It is the fact it's made by Segway. They've been in the market for long enough. They know what they're doing. There are a number of Chinese alternatives, I'm sure, that are out there. I may even get to review a couple of them, but it's definitely, you get to what you pay for. This is probably one of the more expensive electric scooters of this range and type. There is a max version, which is an even bigger battery and larger wheels, I believe. But this is a nice entry-level electric scooter for everybody that will be interested in using it for that last commuter. If they've got a short commuter, if they don't want to use public transport, they're getting about 17-18 kilometers on it. So yeah, really enjoyed my time with the electric scooter. What I found myself doing is using a lot more of the electronic brake rather than the kick brake, and that's just used to getting used to riding an electric scooter. So I find the electronic brake good. I know that other manufacturers of electric scooters actually use like a pneumatic handle on the handlebars, and you're actually pulling a caliper on a brake disc itself, whereas this one it restricts and uses the electronic motor as the brake if you want to. Then you have the kick brake at the back, or the foot brake at the back, which is more of a natural. The electronic motor is built into the hub at the front, and as we talked about when we were using helmet cam, the slope really does slow things down. So I was going about 27-28 kilometers per hour there, and I'm coming up this very gentle incline, and it is dropping down to coming up that incline, and I'm dropping down to 14-13 kilometers an hour. So yeah, inclines, you definitely have to think about it. Now that is also, I'm going into a wind, not that strong of a wind, and the last thing we're going to talk about is on harness cam is going to be the weight. We can talk about it here actually as well. So the maximum capacity for this electric scooter, it says in the specifications, is 100 kgs. So I'm just over 90 kgs, which is about 14-15 stone. So if you are of a larger variety, an electric scooter may not be for you. So depending on your weight, you'll have to see which type of electric scooter will actually be able to carry your weight. So the max for this one is 100 kg. Overall, it's a firm ride. You know that it is solid tires, but they are trying to counteract that with the built-in suspension front and rear. But you will feel the bumps and the bumps, and especially when it says with the solid tires, there isn't any give in that at all. So you are solely reliant on the suspension that's built in. The charger for the SEAT EXS is the Segway charger, about the size of a laptop charger, and it's a 71 watt 42 volt, not too heavy. Then the app integration is done via Bluetooth, and you can see on the actual electric scooter itself, you can see the Bluetooth symbols flashing there. Then when it gets the connection on the app, you can lock it and also unlock it, and there's GPS tracking in there as well. Talks about previous trips on this main screen. And then when you go into the actual different options, you have the lighting effects, which is a big element of this electric kick scooter because of all those LEDs underneath, whether you want the rear light on or not, and the glow light underneath, and then what type of different glow light settings do you want, whether it's single color, full color, dynamic, and then if there's an alarm, what will the LEDs underneath, what will they do? There's not really much else in this app. You have your firmware update, and then what limit you want to set your charging limit to. and you also then have your basic info for serial number, firmware, etc. So that is the SEAT EXS 100% fully electric scooter, otherwise known as the Segway Ninebot ES2 if you're doing some research yourself online. Really enjoyed my time with it. Found it great for zipping in and out of town, zipping in and out the shops. It's a great way of sketting around, and you don't think it's going that fast, but when you're walking past somebody or somebody's running, you realise then that you are doing the 20-25 kilometers per hour. So hopefully you enjoyed the review. Leave comments below and subscribe and like and all that kind of good stuff. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thanks for watching.